Yeah, we're gonna start with the food shop stream from last night. Obviously, if you're in Discord last night, you watched it with us. But it's very funny. So we will watch it. We will watch it. Yeah. So we'll just get into this, I guess.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Welcome to the stream. All right. I am your host, your wonderful late night host. Okay. I'm here to present to you a night of terrible, terrible discourse. In which I have almost no plans for.
You got to keep in your mind that this is the night that she has dropped big Fairy Queen manifesto, where she's been talking in Discord like, this is going. She literally said this is going to set Twitch poll on fire. I want all of my manifestos to be big events for Twitch poll. And she starts stream, and what does she do? She starts talking about Destiny. Nothing about Fairy Queen. Nothing about her manifesto. She starts talking about Destiny. So she's not even capitalizing on the work that she's just put in. Not that it was much work. I mean, obviously we watched that last night, and it was pretty shaky. Chud watched it earlier too. I don't know if you guys would have caught that. Pretty loose use of the term manifesto. Yeah, sure. But the reason I'm calling it a manifesto is because she called the first one a manifesto, and she said this was another one of those. But there's no manifesto here. This is just a video essay.
And literally nothing will happen, okay? You guys chose to be here, and now you guys will suffer through it with me, okay? I'll be suffering along with it with you guys. Not me presenting content, but in the sense that I'll be suffering with you guys, okay? Tor, Pork Chop, Couchman, I've never seen you before. Hi, welcome to chat. Thing, Pasley, the kid, Table, Drexel, welcome to chat. Nihalma, yes, I am good, thank you.
Good evening, Andrew.
Yeah.
Back to Fratton Park today then, mate.
Alright, my camera's all the way over there. There you go, fixed. Okay. Alright, so we have several things that we can go over. If we check my stream playlist, okay? We check my stream playlist, there are several things. Okay. So, H Bomber Guy, released this new video.
Yeah, so she talks about H Bomber Guy. Also, yeah, Naga, we'll look at the Tom Dark stuff later. Because that's huge. That's massive. Okay, so she just talks about this gay shit for ages. Where does this other person come in? They're kind of out of nowhere. This other trans person comes in to interview food shops. And it is just one of the most bizarre interviews from start to finish that I've ever seen. And we get some more looping. It's good. It's some good stuff. I'm new to this channel. What's going on? We're watching this small streamer called Food Shops, who admitted to liking Lolly on a stream. That's anime CP. Has since been very entertaining, very autistic, should we say? That's the least I'll say. Okay.
And never let go of the Golden Heights ever. I think that would make much more sense considering like Likud's agenda.
Possibly, I might agree with you there. I would argue historically this isn't relevant, but historically Israel was willing to demolish.
Cool. All right. So I think you wanted me to
Okay, right.
Made peace with Israel, going back to Sinai, and Israel under I think it was Sharon, not Netanyahu. I think it was Sharon unilaterally disengaged from Gaza, and they pulled back settlements from there. So historically they've been able to do it. Now in both.
Okay, wait a second. Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Hello. Hi. Finally.
Hey.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Oh, doing pretty well. How are you?
I am doing perfectly fine. So, you are, what should I call you? Do I just call you Leaf?
Yeah, you can call me Leaf or you can call me Erin. Either is fine. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. So I guess we both know, Sleepy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Everyone knows Sleepy.
All right. So I think you wanted me to, be a guest on your, podcast, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you'd be interested.
Yeah,
for sure. I'd love to have you.
Yeah, of course. What's your podcast about?
So I like to interview other trans people about their experiences with transition. Like a lot of my reasoning for starting it. No, I'm not gonna fucking trade you for Recon. No, fuck that. Sorry, I'm playing League. Yeah, so like I thought that a good way to get some like acceptance from like I don't know, cis people that don't really know anything about trans stuff would be to like share other people's experiences and I don't know, hear from them what transition has been like. Sometimes I'll have like guests on that have like really
Well, so there you go. I think it's a game that a lot of trans people play.
really good experiences, and sometimes I'll have guests that have like really bad experiences. And I think just like sharing that and letting them talk and you know, getting to have even other people in the community have their eyes on it and stuff. Thought it could help like open people's minds and stuff like that.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's a fine goal. Do you can you tell me a little bit more about yourself? Who are you? And where do you come from, I guess?
Okay, yeah, sure. So I'm Erin. I am 33 years old right now.
Mhm.
I grew up in Kentucky and I lived there most of my life. I moved a bunch of times. I've lived all over the place. I've lived in Nevada. I'm in Colorado currently. I spent some time in Texas. Yeah, it's been really interesting. I really liked Nevada. I thought the climate there was really cool.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a time a few years ago when like the last remaining members of my family passed away, and
So yeah, there's like a bunch of trauma dumping in this conversation, so we have to just skip through a lot of that, I think.
I came
It's
into
just like
a lump sum of money and had been thinking
it's
about transition
excessive.
for a while.
It's excessive.
And thought, well, you know, now there's not really anything holding me back.
Okay, I see. Okay. And how you said do you are because I'm trying to look at our DMs right now.
Who watches these food shop streams? Me and about 10 other people.
Yeah. Yeah, I cuz you said something about and I hope you don't mind. You said something about lately I've been trying to get interviews with quote unquote controversial trans people.
Yeah.
Do you know the full nature of what?
So here we go. Here we go. So she wants to interview controversial trans people, and Food Shops is now thinking like, "What do you know? Why I'm controversial?"
What I like, you know, what I'm sort of low key known for, I guess.
Not a clue.
Without
I
directly
really
mentioning what
don't.
it is. Okay.
All I know is that
okay.
Sleepy recommended that I reach out to you,
Okay.
and that's pretty much all I know.
All right. I think Sleepy can bring up exactly what it is. But all you need to know is that if
So she's trying her absolute hardest not to talk about it here.
you are looking for something along the
She's
lines
as hard
of
as she can.
transgender acceptance as one of your goals, when it comes to you know, a podcast or interviews, right?
Sure.
I don't know if that would help if I was
If you're just straight up, look, if you're trying to make trans people look good, I'm probably not the person to ask. So based. Oh
guest.
man, it doesn't get better than
mainly
this.
Mainly because of the nature of the controversy. Because of the nature of the controversy, it naturally it naturally lends to like actually against your goal. So yes, I am controversial. However, it is still, you know, it's still like, yeah, you know what I mean?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I've had other people that some would say are controversial already on my show. There was somebody that went by the name Chariot that like a lot of people were unhappy that I talked to her.
Okay. I do not
and
know.
Said that I should like take the interview down and not have it up anymore or whatever.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who they are. Yeah.
They're also a YouTuber. Like they talk about like I don't know, just different political things, I guess.
Okay.
And they were accused of some like misconduct or something in their relationships, being like I don't know, stalkery or otherwise kind of creepy or something. I don't know. I didn't really care about it.
Okay.
All I wanted to do was talk to them about their experience with transition, and that's all that was important to me.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Would you say that what's important to you is that it's less about the controversy and it's more about just like what they went through.
Why do they both sound so nervous? Voice training.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, again, like I'm not saying no, right? Like obviously, I would be super up for it, right? Because I think
Was Cherry Keffel's editor? I don't know. She's Xandhal's editor, isn't she? And I don't think she said Cherry. I think it was Chariot, wasn't it?
I think generally I believe in saying yes to these kinds of things, like anything to anything to talk about these things. Because generally I just think these kinds of talks are fun, right? In general,
Yeah,
because
why not?
everybody's things are different, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess what were you expecting to ask when you came on right now? I guess.
I don't know. I just figured you needed somebody to talk to. So
Oh.
Yeah. Chariot TV. I've heard that name before. I've got no idea about them though.
Okay. All right. Where are you from?
yeah, like I said, I'm from Kentucky.
Mm.
Been there for goddamn. Yeah, I lived there
Celeb and Demon
like-
Runners community. Oh, that's a bad fucking start, isn't it?
until I was like 24, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I moved around a bunch. I lived with boyfriends I had. I lived with friends that I made.
Mm-hmm.
A
Okay.
whole host of like different living situations and stuff like that. And
Okay.
I don't know. I felt it was really cool to have like that experience, being able to like go to different places and live in different areas and stuff like that.
Okay, I see. And do you like Kentucky?
No.
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 Is it because there's nothing there?
No, it's the things that are there.
Yeah, I'm seeing there are claims that this Chariot TV person is a self-admitted rapist. Apparently, so that's floating around on Twitter.
I'm not interested in.
Okay.
Like,
you mean
if
literally? Is it because there's literally just nothing there?
No, I mean like there's stuff there.
Okay.
But it's just like stuff that most people are not interested in. It's like if you want to raise horses,
Mhm.
Kentucky's like the best place to raise horses.
Okay.
Like,
Do you
raise horses and stuff like that,
Okay. And do you want to raise horses?
And that's why I didn't like Kentucky.
Nice. There you go. So if you were to choose one place to live, where would you want to live?
Honestly, I really like Colorado. I like staying here.
Do you is Kentucky a flat place?
There's mountains. It's got mountains. Eastern Kentucky, especially.
Okay, I see. And I guess what are you interested in? I realize now that I'm interviewing you right now.
Oh yeah.
In a sense. Sure. And I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Brilliant.
How much do you know about me?
Very little.
I actually
go.
interview people.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Yes.
do
No
you?
way.
Yeah. So
I interview people. She means she's like spoken to Ukrainian Anna and the distributist. I don't know. Yeah, sure, they're interviews, but you're not particularly good at them.
yeah, what I do is that I will drag on people to interview. Yeah. So naturally, I think sometimes I will just start talking in a way where I am asking questions and my mind automatically makes up questions in a
Sure.
way where it just begins to sound like an interview, or it just becomes an interview.
What is blood
So yeah,
yapping
it's like
about?
the way I'm talking right now is just almost naturally an interview, you know? But obviously, after the first time that I talk to you, if you were to hop on the second time, it becomes much less.
I'm getting deja vu. I've watched this before. No, this is just how it starts to feel when you watch these people like day in, day out. Okay, you just see the same things happen. The way it goes. It's all blending into one for me. The whole last 2 weeks is just, it could all be one day.
Of an interview and much more
Yeah.
about like I'm just like hanging out with you, you know?
Right,
Yeah. Okay. Okay, what do you do in your free time, I guess?
Mostly like my free time is occupied by my partners.
Okay. Oh, are you polyamorous?
Yes, I have 2 partners right now.
Interesting. Okay.
We're all kind of like together, so it works out a little bit better than some poly situations, I think. But
Okay, I see. Okay, see, here's the thing. I forgive me if this is an ignorant question. Okay. See, I am immensely well, let's just put it this way. Okay, I'm interpersonally conservative. Okay. And I don't really indulge in these things, right? So how does polyamorous relationships work? Like how do you navigate these things?
Okay, so guys, you're about to watch some of the most autistic conversation that I've ever seen. I've seen some fucking bad conversations, but You're about to watch Foodslops. I don't know if she's trying to emulate Mr. Girl. I don't know if she's just genuinely this retarded. I honestly could not tell you. But holy fuck, this shit is bad. Alright, bye. Trigger warning. Okay, guys. Cringe warning.
Because whenever I hear about them, it's usually people in their early 20s who are trying it out, and it just does not work. People in these relationships are total psychos, and which gives the relationship a bad reputation, right? So how is it that, how long have you been doing it, and has it been working it out for you?
Oh, this is my first time doing
Okay.
it.
The mic is still dropping out, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was something that I kind of like learned the more I talked to people. So like the more experiences I was like
hopefully
sharing, the more I was learning too, which I thought was really cool.
All right.
But I found that there were a lot of people that shared this kind of like idea that you don't have to like just love one person. You can love more than one person, and it's okay to love more than one person and express that and feel validated in that. And I think I agree with you that there are a lot of different like types of polyamorous people, and there are some that just like give the name of polyamory like some really bad vibes, you know? And I think that's because a lot of people they look at polyamory and what they see is just like, oh, I get to like fool around with and fuck whoever I want, and there's no consequences to any of my actions, and I never have to take any.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught it, but the first step that Foodslops makes in this conversation is to go, oh yeah, so I think your relationship's going to fail, and you and your partners are probably complete psychos. So that's the opening gambit. So that's where we're starting off. So immediately, this leaf person, Erin, is on the fence here.
Responsibility, and this is great. I love this. But that's not how it works. When it works, that's not how that works. You know, there's a lot. There's like, it's a lot more than just, oh, I get to mess around with whoever, and you know, that's fine. It's like you have to consider everyone's feelings, and every relationship you need to treat like it's its own like thing. You have to make sure that you're like giving the right amounts of attention to people and not neglecting anyone and stuff like that. And it can be hard, and it's not something that's like super easy that comes naturally to people, I think. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of understanding and willingness to admit your mistakes and make up for them. And
we'll skip through this a little bit.
It takes a really strong, mature mindset to have something like that be successful.
Quite bad.
Okay, I see. Because usually when I think of polyamorous, like I know that when I am in a romantic interaction, right? That it is already way too much work for me. Like I always go like, oh my god, this fucking shit is too much, right?
You guys ever feel like that? Like this fucking shit is too much? You guys ever just feel like that?
I personally cannot imagine being in a situation where I have to not only manage one person's feelings and compromise on that, but also compromise my feelings and my expectations on two people. Do you feel like you have to get there? Do you feel like you have to compromise two ways, or do you feel like you or do you feel like, oh yeah, it doesn't feel like
Semaphore, I believe that is the claim. However, I've seen some disputing of that. Obviously Erin does not claim that is what happened, so I'm not sure, but that is the claim. Yeah, Keffel's made a video about it. And see you later, Sonia. Foodslops struggles with this because she's thinking about how difficult it would be to keep one. Okay. Foodslops teaches the 9 times table the same way Teabag did in Prison Break. I have not seen Prison Break. I can only assume this is a joke about rape.
you know, I have to do more of an effort. It's just a different kind of effort.
Yeah, it depends on the people that you're with, I think. Like every relationship is going to have compromise in it. Well, every successful relationship is going to have compromise in it.
Okay.
Um,
Do you feel like it's more compromising or less compromising, I guess?
What do you mean, I guess?
Do you feel like it's more compromising or less compromising versus a single person relationship?
Like a monogamous relationship?
Yeah, a monogamous relationship. Yes. Just curious.
It can be more. It can be less. It, like I said, it just really depends on the people that you're with. There are some people that are just kind of like really emotionally detached. A lot of polyamorous people will also find that they're like also like aromantic and stuff like that, and don't experience romance in the same way that most people do.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting actually, because there's a wide range of experiences out there that people can have, and not, I wouldn't say like any of them are necessarily invalid or whatever, but yeah, it just really depends. The people that I'm with were together before I came into the picture, and I started dating one of them, and then later on started dating the other one. I think it was like 2 weeks or so in between the two. But we just all kind of like felt this like instant connection, and we've all been like working on making the relationship better for everyone. And that's the important thing, right? Is that you have people whose goals are aligned with yours.
See, that's really hard for me to imagine.
Okay, so big long spiel about how, you know, everyone's different. So what's Foodslops' reply here?
Because because the way I sort of imagine, if I was one of these partners who was already in the pre-existing relationship, would I not be feeling incredibly jealous or betrayed that, oh yeah, now my partner is opening up to this new person who is coming into our relationship? And isn't this just omega copium that, oh yeah, my partner is no longer interested in me, that, oh yeah, you are coming into their life about it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
So do they still love each other?
What's this? There's a creeping sense of dread. This is like the build-up of a thriller movie. I need an adult. This is actually pretty tame for a Foodslop stream. This is pretty tame. I'm just curious. It's such a funny Destiny coded thing to say while interviewing someone. So true. Holy fuck. So true. So true.
There's another question.
Yeah, of course.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure about it. I mean, like, the whole reason that I came into the picture in the first place was because, like, Scarlett needed somebody there for her. She went through a really tough experience, and she needed somebody to be there for her when Cora wasn't. And Cora works like night shift, like dead of night into 6 a.m. kind of night shift, you know?
Okay.
Trauma dumping incoming. Yep.
I see. Oh wait, so are you saying that when you need somebody to be there for you emotionally?
Okay, this shit. I'm pretty sure this way she says something just that is like so obviously kind of like insensitive almost. If you were trying to have like a normal conversation with someone who's like poly. But yeah, what she says here is so fucking funny to me.
Romantically. And that somebody is not there, then you need another person to be there. It's sort of like a job thing where somebody clocks in, somebody clocks out, and another person clocks in, and another person clocks out. Is that what you're saying?
Like, do you view like your relationship as sort of like, you know, being a wage cuck? Do you view it as sort of like a obligation, a miserable experience that you have to, where you feel like you have to commit time to it? Oh fuck, dude.
No, I don't really see it like that. No.
but the way that you are describing it sounds like that. Right?
And then she starts doing the Mr. Girl thing, where she's like, "Sure, you're telling me it's not like that, but you know, I'm reading the way I'm reading it."
That was kind of like the grounds that I was like introduced into the relationship with. Like, that was kind of like the reason that I was even considered. Was just to like, I think Cora felt like really bad that she couldn't like be there for Scarlett when she needed her all the time, and
Okay.
told Scarlett.
Oh, guys, we've got big announcement from Charles Roderick saying he's talking to Paul Blart tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern about the lolly thing. We're seeing about Foodslops and Paul Blart being counterpoints. So that's big stuff to look forward to. Big stuff to look forward to.
That she should feel free to seek other relationships.
Oh, okay.
While she's not there,
I see.
pretty much.
So why
Yeah.
don't they just simply break up then?
Well, it's not that.
Like, and now, why don't you just break up? Why don't you, how, instead of what you're doing, you just break up with them? Foodslops just goes wild in this conversation. It's so crazy.
They don't love each other still.
Okay, so they wanted to continue to love each other, but
Yeah.
they were reluctant to break up. But
I wouldn't say reluctant is the word there. No.
why would it not be that word?
Huh?
Why would it not be that word?
I don't know. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, sorry that I'm challenging you, right? Because
No,
I
don't
am
even really consider it a
okay.
challenge. To be honest.
Yeah. Because for me, I'm like genuinely curious. That's all it is, right? Yeah. Because I'm like genuinely really fascinated by polyamorous relationships, right? I'm not personally
You're like a zoo animal to me. You're sort of like a zoo animal. You know, I try and inspect you.
interested in polyamorous relationships.
Hannibal like their
It
ass.
is more like I am more like, oh my god, I can't believe, like, I only hear about actual disasters. I only know about disastrous.
And again, with the, don't you think your relationship's kind of like doomed? Don't you think that every poly relationship is just gonna blow up? What? She just goes insane.
Polyamorous relationships, but you are making something work here, right? How long have you been in this romantic situation?
So like, yeah, she gives her a bit of charity. She's like, "You're making something work." So where does this go? Maybe she turns it around.
April.
Okay,
Like I said, this is like really new to me still.
Okay, so it's been 8 months. If it has been 8 months, then that's good, right?
Okay.
You could still be in a honeymoon phase of some.
Like, don't you think you could be in a honeymoon phase? Like, don't you think this could all be fake? Don't you think actually that, you know, pretty soon you'll just break up anyway?
I really don't think so.
So I don't think so.
Okay, so there has been
Doesn't
already
feel like
moments.
It's like honeymoon phase. I mean, like we fight, we have arguments and stuff like that.
Okay, well, people.
Okay, so she's accepted it, right? She's accepted it. Okay, it's looking good.
Arguments and stuff like that.
Okay, well, people would typically not admit that they are in a honeymoon phase. Or not, right?
Oh. See, you're actually lying to me. You are in a honeymoon phase.
Okay. No, but I mean, like, I can distinctly remember when we were. And
okay.
Pretty much when that ended.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. All right. That's interesting. Fascinating.
Have you considered you're lying to me and yourself? That is the Mr. Girl classic. I love it. I think it's based when Mr. Girl does it, but here I just don't know what angle she's going for with this interview. It's just like a super awkward interaction.
I know, scintillating even.
Okay. All right. Now we're sounding like Vosh. Okay. Mm. And if I were to ask, what are one of the issues that you had to resolve? And if you were to put it in a vague, I hope it's not too intrusive of a question.
Yeah, okay. So like one of the biggest
Yeah.
hurdles that we encountered
Mhm.
pretty early on into the relationship even was like setting boundaries and expectations. And
Why ask that? Because she's just prying. Like, just prying. Dude, everything she says triggers me. She is just like a very angering person. Yeah. Yeah, if I were to ask, you are asking, dude. The Chinglish is just... it's crazy. It's so crazy.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it wasn't always like super easy. It's not been like just coasting along or whatever.
Mhm.
People have gotten hurt, you know. Uh, I don't know how to like put this in like vague enough terms or whatever. Um, but like yeah, there were like expectations about boundaries and stuff like that, and we weren't all on the same page from the beginning. It's taken work to get there. It's really been some trial and error
But I honestly have no idea.
stuff. But you know, the fact that we all still want to put in that effort and still care about each other and stuff like that, want to make sure that everyone's happy. That I think is the most important thing for me.
Right. And do you feel like, so how old are you? Would you say that you guys are around the same age?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
The funny thing is that Scarlett is like a month and 1 day younger than me.
Mhm. Oh wow. Okay.
I know I'm gonna get called a groomer for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
Good one, Leaf. Yeah.
but
So I think what happened there is Food Shops thinks that she's making that joke because she has some knowledge of her situation. That's how that comes off to me. That's how that reads.
no, my other partner
I don't think
is
that's true.
I think 2.5 years younger than me.
Okay.
We're all in our 30s. All of us are in our 30s. After the last relationship I was in, I swore to myself that I would never date under 30.
Okay. All right. So would you say that because of because of this age thing, that you guys were able to resolve issues easier?
I think so. Yeah. I think there's a lot of maturity and willingness to work on issues that come naturally to us because of the experience that we've gained over the years and
Mm-hmm.
other relationships we've been in and stuff like that. We kind of like know basically what's like going on and stuff, you know?
Yeah, neither of them know what the other one was in trouble for. Oh. Neither of them knew. Leaf doesn't know that it's about what the Food Shops thing is about Lolly, and Food Shops doesn't know that Leaf's thing is about allegedly grooming a 16-year-old. Allegedly dating a 16-year-old when she was 30. Bomber.
Like
Interesting.
we're not lost by any means for you know what to do when we upset someone and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. I see. Somebody in chat said, well, ignoring their comment about how 30-year-olds need to be caged. Do polyamorous folks
I don't play into
have,
the whole puppy girl thing, by the way. I'm not, that's not me.
okay.
I'm not the kind to like leash myself and get in a cage and stuff like that. That's not.
But okay, well, nobody asked that. That's number one. All right.
Who asked? Who asked?
Just
Based food
want to make
slops.
that clear. Nobody asked that. None of that in chat, nor did I voice that. Okay.
Okay.
I don't
I
know
just thought I'd
why
go
you
ahead and
brought
make
that
that
up. I don't know
note.
why
In
you
case there were
brought
any
that up.
questions
That was
about it.
very perplexing. Okay. All right. And ignoring the comment also that says, do polyamorous folks have more gangbangs? Do you have more? Actually, no, we're not gonna ignore that. Do you have more gangbangs?
Do I have what?
More gangbangs.
Gangbangs.
Yeah.
No. Me personally, no. Because
Bro.
currently I have a lot of trauma surrounding sex and stuff like that.
Okay. Do not elaborate
The
further.
estrogen I'm on, I
Yeah.
have almost no sex drive anymore. I think in the last like 3 months I've had sex twice.
Okay. Do not
Yeah.
elaborate further. You're all good. Okay.
But
do
I could
you,
see like some polyamorous couples will. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense. It seems like if you have sex trauma, you will either be extremely sexual or very anti-sexual.
Bro, like, what a fucking crazy thing to say to someone in this context. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I'm not anti-sexual by any means.
Well, right.
I understand that people are sexual creatures and
Right.
desire sexual intercourse and stuff like that.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not a prude.
By the way, Kuihman, I don't do that whole dog thing. Good to know. Good to know. Also, slight correction, apparently Erin was accused of dating a 16-year-old when 20. So that is really retarded if that is the accusation. I think a lot of Foodslops burglary is down to ESL issues. Some of it. Yeah, some of it.
Yeah. So somebody said, can you cheat in polyamory? I know the answer to that, but to obviously to somebody who's a normie, they're to somebody who's completely new, right? First of all, what do you define as polyamory? And to second question is, can you cheat in polyamory? So what do you define as polyamory, first of all?
Well, I guess like really polyamorous people are any people that feel the capacity to express love for more than one person. And understanding that there are various different types of love, and that the love you have for one person might not be the same type of love that you have for another person, but that's okay.
Okay, what do you mean by different forms of love? I'm curious. I want you to sort of expand on that.
It's a really simple concept. I think you could understand it pretty easily. But basically, like the love that you have for your mom is not the same love that you have for your partner and stuff like that, you know? Or the love that you have for your best friend is not the same as you get it.
Okay. I understand that part, right? But between two different partners, do you mean to say that for one you can have a love in a mom sense, and the other one you have for a romantic sense?
It doesn't have to be exclusive. Like the idea that you can love like your family in the same way, right? Like you love your mom the same way you love your dad and stuff like that, but not the same way that you love your friends, but you love your friends all the same way, you know?
Okay.
Like you can have those feelings of romantic love for more than one person.
Okay, I see. So you're talking about, and I'm trying to parse what your words mean. Okay, so do you mean different forms of romantic love?
No, not necessarily. I mean, sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's different. It all depends on the people.
So, like, she's literally like, what do you mean you can love people in different ways? What do you mean by that? It's so autistic.
Okay, so
it's literally like Alien.
Like I mean specifically to you and your partners, right?
Yeah.
So are you saying that sometimes it is romantic love between you and your partners, and sometimes it is platonic love?
No. Okay. No, I just mean that like, well, like, I mean, sometimes I can take on a motherly role, you know, like when my partners are sick or whatever, and I need to like help them feel better and stuff like that. I can take on that role.
Asexual woman with multiple partners. I've heard it all.
Okay. I was gonna be like, okay, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. Trying to, yeah, I was just wondering like what you mean by that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Also, I see Quella is in the chat. Listen,
so obviously, Quella, is around here often. Big supporter here. I think Foodslops may know that. Quilla says the cage play comment earlier was curious. Is this a furry polycule?
The cage play comment earlier was curious. Is this a furry polycule? No, I don't think this is
No, we
a
are not furry.
furry polycule. But Quilla, I'm glad to see that you have, you've good to see you.
I guess I'm not welcome in Food Shop's community. I know they're so hostile over there. It's so fucked up. People just want to chill, enjoy Food Shop's content. What's so wrong about that? What's so wrong?
Yeah. Okay. So, interesting. It's genuinely interesting to hear all of this.
Yeah, it is a really interesting concept in every meaning of the word, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's something that takes a lot of thought and consideration.
Yeah. I think I was wondering, what topic I should host my next Food for Thought on.
Oh yeah, polyamory would be a great one.
Yeah. Now I'm actually genuinely thinking maybe I should host it on polyamory.
Be brilliant.
Would actually be a really, really good topic to have it on.
Yeah.
Because
I bet a lot of people would be really interested.
So just literally meets this person, they mentioned polyamory once, and Food Shop's like, I'm going to do a panel on this.
And talking about polyamory.
And we could center it around you.
How about the whole panel's about your relationship? And you just hear the reaction. What?
And we could center it around you. Yeah, you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Usually
sure,
we yeah, because I know that the last time we had a panel, Not So Erudite was meant to be the
Oh yeah, I've been on panels with her before.
Yeah, was meant to
She's
be
cool.
she is
like
cool. Was meant to be the person who was meant to be centered around.
I was on a xenogender panel with her, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. But yeah, Sleepy says invites Smith.
Can we scrutinize your relationships next stream? That already happens from the very limited amount I share in Discord.
To that panel, please? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's get Smith in there.
Oh, Smith has been on multiple FFT panels.
I like Smith. He's cool. He's a good guy.
People have criticized me for inviting Smith onto the Israel and Palestine panel that I hosted. But it actually made the panel better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The reason being is that I think he added a lot to what was otherwise a very dry panel.
We all love Smith here.
A lot of like waffling of
Smith
technical
heads?
details and laws and history. When you just need somebody who is very soy. And I think that because Smith is so soy, I think it is it is helpful to have somebody so soy.
Yeah, you think so?
And listen, I recently, as of late, learned some things about Smith. Obviously not public information. That made me respect him more. It's good information. It's not bad information. Okay. So usually when it's like, oh yeah, you're learning more information.
Have mercy on a newbie. What is Food Farts known for? Not really. She's not really known for anything. She hosted like some politics debate panels with very minor e-celebrities a few times. She sort of started talking about us, about me, and some people I know in Discord, sort of out of nowhere. And then we asked her a few questions, and she admitted she liked Lolly. And then it just all blew up from there, and we've just been watching her stuff since because she's just very, very entertaining to watch. It's just non-stop autism. She was in Kuihman's voice training class. Shut the fuck up.
Chatting. Hold on, I'm changing the title of the stream. Chatting with Leaf. Yeah. So usually it is bad information and dirt. And usually I'm very wary of content creators,
So guys, please like, sub, and dono if you can. Thank you very much.
Of other content creators, because they'll usually try to use any chance they have. No principles, anything for content and for getting more clout, right? But I learned some things about him that made me go like, hey, this guy is not so bad.
Not a bad guy.
He's not a bad guy.
I like
no.
him. I like
So yeah, it's
Did Chud ever confront Connor about the retardation earlier? That is happening tomorrow at like 6 p.m. Eastern, I think he said. Chud is going to be talking to Paul Blart. Paul Blart Mall Cop.
That's about it.
Chud said that's happening. That's what it's based on.
Yeah. So yeah, I now with maybe I'll make the write up tomorrow for FFT panel and then see if I can begin inviting people to the panel. I think that would be interesting to have. And I'm gonna see if I can bring that topic to somebody with an A in the name.
An A
in the name, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty interesting standard. Are you just looking for anyone with an A in their name?
No, I'm thinking of somebody specific, but I don't want to reveal it to the public right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I am because the standard is that you need to bring a topic. And I have one street cred to cash in. Apparently, somebody is vouching for me.
So, I don't know what this is all about. I heard this last night. Basically, Foodslops is saying that someone owes her a favor behind the scenes, I guess, and that someone owes someone else a favor, and she's been given the IOU for that favor to get, like, a clout connection. I think she says it's someone with an A in their name. I don't know if maybe it's David's hooking her up with Sargon, possible. That's the only thing I could think of. Possible academic agent as well. It's almost definitely a connection through Taki, 100%.
And this person who says like, oh, I want to cash in my IOU. Like basically this content creator, this much larger content creator is
that's like Money in the Bank.
Not Money in the Bank. It's more like this much larger content creator is saying, okay, I have an IOU to you, and then this other person is going like, okay, instead of me using this IOU for platforming, right, I'm gonna use.
No, I think honestly it's gonna be Sargon, academic agent. Those are the two that I'm thinking of. I don't think it'd be Adam from Adam and Sitch. It could be. But those are the two that jump to mind with A's for SFO related people.
It for you instead, Foodslops, and then I'm like, okay, and then now, but then the only requirement is this. The only requirement is that I have to bring a topic. So the topic can be polyamory.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking.
She got banned from the Quarantos Discord apparently. Over the lolly stuff.
I'm thinking, yeah, because I have been very aggressive in content creation recently.
Yeah.
Just been extremely aggressive.
That's fair. Sometimes you have to be.
Yeah.
I don't see Adam going on a pedo panel. That's the point.
Yeah. Okay. I guess, is there anything that you are wondering? Or
doesn't Hunter Avalon fall enough? Yeah, he's just sort of stopped making content. His numbers weren't even suffering that much because like people always said that he was like dying, but they only looked at his Twitch and like on YouTube he always had several hundred viewers, so he was definitely making money for himself. But yeah, he just sort of stopped creating content after the divorce. Like his streams were way less consistent.
I don't know. What kind of well, I mean, like a lot of the questions that I have I want to answer on the thing, but you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I just want to like save them for later. If that makes sense.
Okay. Sure.
But yeah, like I guess I can talk to you about like this and stuff. How did you handle the whole like being targeted and canceled and all that stuff?
How was she targeted? I don't think that was necessarily happened. Okay. And then she starts laughing because she's so She's been told by literally everyone, do not talk about this. No matter what happens, people are trying to get you to talk about it. Do not talk about it. Do not talk about it. And now she's like,
Okay, I'll tell you this much, okay?
Okay.
I can
Sure.
I can talk to you about the drama. I can talk to you about it, but
Okay. I don't even know what the drama is.
but I
honestly.
can't talk to you about the nature of it, okay? I
Okay,
don't, because if I talk to you about like, oh yeah, the reasoning behind it, the specific reasoning behind it, and the whatever the heck behind it, it's a bit too much. Obviously the material is already all there, like my
I mean,
interactions,
so like I'm
and
not
et cetera,
asking
right?
about like what
Right,
happened
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. I just want to know like
More
how you
about,
handled it.
yeah, okay, all right, yeah. But if in terms of handling it, yeah, then sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you asking that right now?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, sure. So I think I took. Do you know the streamer Destiny?
Yeah.
Okay.
how did you handle this drama? Well, I'm sort of like Destiny. If you like, do you know the streamer Destiny? I'm sort of a bit like him.
Okay. Before you ask, no, I did not get Destiny's backing in the drama. Okay, even though he does, do a little bit of outreach in terms of helping out smaller content creators
But Destiny don't know you though, bro.
in their drama. But what happened is
Hello, content
when you
sniffer.
are facing controversy, especially from other content creators in your space who is looking to cut bridges with you, and not just considering cut bridges with you, but also telling other people to, consider cutting bridges with you, either out of a moral reason or out of a business reason, right? By going like, hey, this person's optics look so bad that you have to cut bridges with this person because of optical business related reasons, right?
Yeah, I can kind of tell the difference between that and moral grandstanding.
Right. Then in that case, like, I perfectly understand that. I even in times of high stress, I will never, not understand a person's position when it comes to something like that. Now, how I personally handle it is that in the background, the key is to wait. You will never ever gain anything from essentially rushing. If you rush, you will be destroyed. And because when you wait, there are two categories of people in the in people who are pursuing you in drama. Okay, people who are the bottom feeders. I call them the bottom feeders. Okay.
So, for anyone who may not be caught up, bottom feeders, when she says that, she's referring to sort of like me and some other people I've hung around with a little bit on Discord. That's who she's referring to. She labeled us that in her manifesto that she wrote about the drama. So that's what she says in order to avoid mentioning anyone by name.
People who are bottom feeders, basically they are people who are only out there for the content, and they are there to get any kind of words or statements or public content that they could. So if you pose any kind of position or contradictions or anything like that, they will write it down. They will mark when you said it, what you said, and then they will compare it to anything you said in the past, get the clips, and then they will shoot it out into the ether. And then they will shoot it towards larger content creators and go like, hey, by the way, this person had a contradiction, and then see, this is why they're disingenuous and that's why they're guilty, right? Now,
what's the problem? I don't get the problem.
Versus the actual good faith people who are trying to interpret what you were trying to say. Okay. Now, that is why you have to wait, because when you're acting on emotion, when you're acting out of rushing and panicking, and you want to get a statement out there as fast as possible.
Did you watch her content with Quibbles? No, anytime Quibbles is on screen, I turn it off. Literally anytime. I cannot stand listening to that guy. Holy fuck.
You are setting yourself up for failure because you're not being precise. You're not waiting to gather all the information you could. You're not organizing your thoughts together. I received a lot of criticism from all sides, like no matter if they're the bottom feeders or from the higher good faith content creators, about pushing it out ASAP, right? From pushing it out ASAP. And there's a lot of thankfully, most good faith content creators did not criticize me for that. But there were some who did. The thing is that yeah, they have to understand that, you know, if I push it out as soon as possible, I would get royally fucked. And it was worth it because now when they talk among each other for several days after the big blowout, the blow up, right? After the big blow up, now I'm gathering even more information from the discussions they're having with each other, right? Because now when I don't
Fucking
rush
crazy,
out,
isn't it?
yeah, when I don't rush out my response, if I did rush out my response, then they wouldn't have had these discussions in the 2 days afterwards, if that makes sense, right? It's like
I don't even know what she's trying to say here. Let's go back. I need to hear this again. Sorry, Foodslops cannot articulate a point to save her fucking life.
creators did not criticize me for that. But there were some who did. The thing is that yeah, they have to understand that, you know, if I push it out as soon as possible, I would get royally fucked. And it was worth it because
like,
now
keep in mind, she didn't wait at all. She did not wait to put out her response. She literally, the day it all happened, she like took a day off of streaming, was like editing for like 2 days straight, and then immediately posted the video. She did not wait. And then she had to make a bunch of edits to the manifesto and shit afterwards. And she was like constantly like I just don't know what this delusion is. You did not wait. The video that made her look terrible, mind you. Yep, the video manifesto that made her look fucking awful. That was literally not even the people who defend her say, oh yeah, that was good. What did Starla say to her? She said, if anyone's got any questions, direct them towards your interview with Tom. Not the manifesto, not the video essay. Your interview with Tom.
When they talk among each other for several days after the big blowout, blow up, right? After the big blow up, now I'm gathering even more information from the discussions they're having with each other, right? Because now when I don't
Fucking
rush
crazy,
out,
isn't it?
yeah, when I don't rush out my response, if I did rush out my response, then they wouldn't have had these discussions in the 2 days afterwards, if that makes sense, right? It's like a butterfly effect kind of thing.
Literally everyone in Spicy Chat was chomping at the bit to get this talked about. What are you on about? These conversations were going to happen, whether people like it or not, okay? A goodbye to Rezo was top tier, though. Yeah, true. And Tom raped her bigly in the interview. Yeah, that's just facts. I mean, it like, I can't remember what she was saying. Yo, what's good? This is word salad. Yeah, she can't articulate herself at all. We'll carry on.
Where if I did rush out my response on the first day right after the blow up, then they wouldn't have had these big discussions. And if they didn't have these big discussions, wondering where I was, then I wouldn't have gathered more important.
Nobody was wondering where she was. What? No, we knew you posting in Discord about you being away to edit your video. You knew what you were doing. You don't keep your mouth. You can't keep your mouth shut. Everyone knew exactly what you were doing.
Information, right? Because their speculation on where I was helped my entire case, right? So after I gathered all of the information, after I gathered everything, then I put them in a big as fuck manifesto. Okay, I put them in a big as fuck manifesto. I put them in a organized video, and I edited the video together. It was a 30-minute video, a big as fuck manifesto, and then I shoved it out there. Now, any more changes after that would be a mistake, and unfortunately, that is what I did. I changed the manifesto after that.
I thought she handled it flawlessly. I thought she handled it perfectly.
You know, predictably, this is what they went after, right? This is what the bottom feeders went after. They went after any kind of edits that I made. They went after any changes that I made, right? Just like how
you took 1 day off streaming, SS.
I said that. Oh yeah, by the way, if there is any kind of changes, like any kind of minor changes, they will hook onto it and etc. Right? So after so I only looped once, right? It's like looping, right? So I only looped once.
What do you mean by looping?
Looping basically to re-engage with the drama. Looping is what we call in the sphere as like re-engaging with the drama, right? So so when you feel like you have an autistic, need to re-engage with the
I
drama
feel that so much.
to correct the
I feel it
narrative,
so
because if it's just the bottom feeders, you don't give a fuck, right? You don't really care if it's just the bottom feeders, right? However, it's when
Guys,
the
totally not looping, guys. I've broken the loop. Wait, you'll hear that in a minute. Actually, I'll keep it going. This is just too funny. I'll just let it play.
higher level, more credible content creators are given information by the bottom feeders, and then the bottom feeders only present the information in a way that fits their narrative. And then when that happens, then like the content creators are going like, interesting, yes, this sounds very credible, you know, and they don't really, you know, see the more charitable side because it looks so damn bad, you know. So therefore, you want to be able to correct the narrative because you have higher standards for larger content creators with a high level of credibility. So when you look at somebody with a higher level of credibility who you have higher standards for, you want to be able to correct the record there. You have no high standards. You have no standards, in fact, whatsoever for low level.
Yeah, who she's got people bottom feeders? Yeah, literally, I'm like 10 times the size in terms of like, you know, concurrent viewers. I don't know why she's calling this bottom feeders still. It's like crazy. Yeah, I like to stand on when it first started because I hadn't been streaming in months, but I mean, or at the Paris Debate Lord. Isn't it just masterful? This is the next Destiny, guys. Isn't it still looping right now? Yes. She's literally doing it right now. She's saying, I'm not looping. Anyway, let me tell you all about my drama.
Bottom feeders, right? But you do have high standards for people who have higher credibility. So therefore, you do feel the urge to correct the record. However, big mistake, right? Because now when you loop and you try to correct the record, you are the one that make mistakes, right? You could slip up, you make mistakes, you could say something that was different from the last time that you were saying it, and now the bottom feeders have something new that they can latch onto now. So now when you make a change, you make a change in your rhetoric, any kind of minor change you make in your rhetoric, any kind of minor change or any kind of change that you make in your story or your, you know, narrative or whatever, they have a new thing that they could hook onto, blow it out of proportion, and feed it back to the more credible content creators who are already biased against you. They are already biased against you, right? Yeah. So I looped once and I never looped again. I never looped again after that.
I looped once. I never looped again. Wait, fuck. Except just then. Okay, loop twice.
Okay. So I looped once, never looped again, and then ever since then, I think what I did was that I just more like just troll around, and then that's about it, you know. But other than that, that was like after I looped once, that was my last actual serious engagement with the entire thing. But then after that, like I just basically just gave up on actually trying to correct the record, because clearly for me, after I did not engage for a while, I was like, you know what, if you're not going to take me seriously, if I'm going to be treated like this, even if the higher content, because eventually guess what's going to happen, right? Here's my perspective. Ready? If higher level content creators with high levels of credibility is no longer engaging with me at a level where I was like, okay, you know, whatever, then in my mind, one of the reasoning is that you may be higher credibility and I have higher expectations of you before, but my expectations of you are dropping. Like you are getting closer to the bottom feeders now. Like you are no longer at the credibility that I thought you were before. You are now getting closer to the bottom feeders. And in addition to that,
Guys,
the
last thing you want to do is have food shops think you're like us. Okay, guys? That's the last thing you want.
Credibility content creator that I have engaged with basically told me a good piece of advice: not to loop. Do not loop again. Do not engage again. And I took their advice and I haven't taken it ever since. So therefore, you know what? I have been using that as an excuse.
Like, it's so funny. She's a master of unintentional comedy. She really is. Have you ever seen anyone who is this funny without meaning to be?
Ever since to not engage with it, and there it is. So yep, that's about it. So for me, and here's the thing, even people who are mentally sound, even people who are mentally sound will loop again and again. And I'm going to tell you again, just because you loop doesn't mean that you are mentally unhealthy. Even mentally healthy people will loop because people will have an urge to correct something that is wrong about them, that people are saying about them online. This is a normal thing to try and do. This is a normal human behavior. However, it takes a person who truly has a very, very strong mental fortitude to actually stop the looping, okay? To actually stop the looping and stop that kind of cycle. And I believe that I have demonstrated that by actually stopping it after the first loop. So there you go. Yeah, that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah, but other than that, you know, people will still say stuff like, "Oh, you should go to therapy. You should go get help. You should do whatever and whatever," right? But you know, whatever. I just don't care anymore. I just give up on trying to convince anybody. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, and I'm just doing my own thing now. Yeah. And you know, and another thing is that, you know, it's not just me, because I want to give credit to a lot of content creators who have also supported me in the background and in the forefront. There is creators who are much bigger than me and bigger than my attackers as well, who have had my back, who sees me for more for.
But it's just like SFO and like maybe Stardust, which she's talking about here, I guess. Not that Stardust is that much bigger than me. Well, she is. She's a lot bigger than me, but she's not. You know.
Who
You know
I
what I'm
am,
saying?
and who
Must be nice.
who I have connected with, and who actually have supported me. So I appreciate them. Okay, I truly do appreciate them. And you know what? I will name them. Okay, I will name them. I won't name my attackers because I don't think they deserve the credit. You know, I don't think they deserve, you know, any of the clout, right? I will name, you know, Stardust, okay, Tom Forley Show, okay, you know, Short Fat Otaku, right? I will also name, yeah, and you know, yeah, and I'm sure there's some other names that I missed, right? But I'm gonna tell you right now is that I think there's genuinely some good forces out there, you know, that doesn't make me lose faith in all content creators, that make me go like, oh my god, all these content creators are fucking dirtbag pieces of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
The
yeah.
slurping, dude. Someone needs to slap that fucking can out of her hand. Holy shit. So disgusting, man.
Some people are genuinely good faith people, and you don't need to be on my side, right? You just need to be good faith for me to go thank you, right? For me to go thank you. Yeah.
Oh, why?
Also, what energy drink is that? It's fucking Rockstar. Just ignore it. It's terrible. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's about it.
That's good advice. That's a perspective I haven't really considered.
Yeah.
I mean, like, of course, I've considered the like not engage and stuff like that, but like, you're right. I feel that autistic need to just like constantly correct the record, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if I started content creation when I was at the peak of
By the way, commentary has caught wind of this. I've heard Bunk did a stream on it. I've heard Leia something did a stream on it. Has anyone else covered this at all? Or is it just those two?
my mental health spirals, you know, years ago, holy shit, I would not be able to handle it. I would not be able to handle it. It would literally not be possible. Yeah, it would not be possible.
I literally, I don't know if I could handle it in the first place. I thought I could, but I was very naive. After I had like thousands of people sending me death threats, and I was getting DMs that just had my address in them, like I was like, you know, maybe I'm not so much cut out for this.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, I think I do know a little bit about you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't surprise me.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. Just a tiny little itty bitty bit. Yeah. Yeah. But I try to be non-judgmental. You know, you know, even I think I try to think about what Tom Foolery has said. And one of the things that Tom has said sort of stuck to me, that I think was a positive and good thing. For example, he has said that
Well, if something was so appalled, it's a pretty funny watch. Maybe we'll give it a go. Maybe we'll give it a go at some point.
he has said something along the lines of like, you know, like when people have said, when people have told him, hey, why are you associating with food shops? You know, at the height of my controversy, they're like, why are you associating with food shops? Why are you associating with food shops? Right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what do you mean? Of course I want to associate with food shops. The reason I want to do that is because, like,
So guys, please like, sub, and donate if you can. Thank you very much. I fucking hate doing shills.
even like it was something along the lines of like, oh, even though she's a bad, like even if she's a bad person, I want to interact with bad people because that's what I do, because they're the most interesting people in this space. That's why, right? Because these good people are boring. I want to be able to debate bad people. I want to be able to challenge bad people's ideas. I want to be able to have bad people on my stream to challenge their ideas, to, you know, interact with them. And yeah, to me, that is a great thing to stand by, which is why I personally have no problem having quote unquote problematic people on my stream. Because it's not about, you know, giving them a platform per se. It's more about
It's so it is crazy. I can't imagine what it'd be like coming here and seeing this as like the first stream you see. Like, I honestly cannot imagine that experience. I really can't. I've just been engrossed in this for way too long at this point.
You know, and it's I mean, I guess it's partially the content, but it's more like what kind of content are you aiming for, right?
And yeah, it's crazy how people act like Tom's a drama farmer when it's like anytime the drama's a little bit too hot, he backs out. Like, guy still has not responded to anything I've said. But whatever. You didn't avatar if I have your cam on. Use on. Yeah, fuck off. I know exactly what picture you're referring to, you piece of shit.
I think that part of it truly is just, it's good. It's good. It's just good for many reasons. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I guess so. I mean, like, one of the benefits of being a controversial figure is that, like, content featuring you always gets views. It always gets more views than it would otherwise, because people are just, like, innately curious about, like, who they consider to be bad people and stuff like that.
Yeah, and people all, it's just like how and this is okay, this might not be the best example. Okay, all right, Jesus Christ. But why do people interview serial killers on live television? Right? You have to ask yourself that question as well. And I think that's a good question to ask.
This is what you want to be compared to?
Because people like seeing the content, but they don't want to ask why they like seeing it, right?
Yeah. Hey, listen,
why?
I watch true crime, okay?
Me too.
Understand.
Me too, right? But they never like digging down and asking themselves why they like watching it, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's good to come to terms with the fact
nothing she says ever makes sense. She just rambles in weird autistic second language screeds.
That maybe some part of you truly do have that kind of morbid curiosity. And it's not just morbid curiosity that wants you to not it's like, oh, I don't want to look away, right? But it's also that maybe it's also good that you are humanizing somebody who is traditionally dehumanized by people, right? And here's the thing. I think dehumanizing anybody is bad. I think it is bad.
So brave. So brave.
Any standards or any means. I think it's bad.
I can agree with that.
You what?
I can agree with that.
Yeah. So and here's the thing. People can be free to disagree with me on that, right? But yeah, this is something I personally believe in. And yeah, it is what it is. I mean, obviously I can go into detail on that later and why it is like that. But once you set the stand,
Flamenco 2.0, it's funny you say that because when she retweeted one of my tweets about it to reply to it, quote tweeted it, Flamenco was in the reply being like, good luck, or some shit like that. Like, oh, I've been here before, you know, that sort of reply. So it's funny you bring up Flamenco.
Basically, it just comes down to this. Once you set the standards of who to dehumanize, where you draw the line becomes very murky. And then that line can be shifted back and forth. whenever it's convenient for you, because human beings are quite hypocritical.
Yeah. Oh, no way.
Yeah, especially when you become emotional. When you become emotional and you begin to shift the line, especially when you become very
Hey,
emotional.
can I ask you a question? Do you think
Yeah.
there's a substance that a lot of these people are taking that would make them naturally more emotional? Do you think that maybe all these people that get like super heated about this stuff are all, I don't know, it's weird. It's almost like there's a community of people taking some sort of medication that
Is this a joke about estrogen?
has
Wait,
some
what?
sort of hormonal imbalance or something like that?
Because I don't think food. Oh,
I firmly disavow bad things.
thank you, Anon, for the $5. Yes. No, I hope there's no bad thing enjoyers here. I hope no one here enjoys bad things, guys. Okay? Good things are good and bad things are bad. It really is just that easy.
What, transgender people?
Yeah, Food Shops isn't talking about trans people here, is she? She's talking about us. Which, you know, I'm pretty sure. A Persona donation alert. Yes, yes. Persona donation alerts. It's, an edit of Persona 3 when you're using the computer. It's got a little monkey video in it. Who is this wet noodle that FSL is talking to? This is Erin Green, who was accused by Keffels of being a groomer for dating a 16-year-old when she was 20.
Wait, is that what you're saying? What?
What?
Are you talking about transgender people?
What? No way. No.
Wait,
They-
why?
all transgender people are famously like the most rational and well thought out people in the entire world.
Okay.
Famously are like that. Yeah.
Okay, they are. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know.
But it's also, but I don't even think like
SMT/Persona anime Kuyo weeaboo. I wouldn't describe myself as a weeaboo, no. But I do like a lot of Japanese games and TV. Well, anime. Don't want to change J-dramas or any of that gay shit. Is getting remade soon, but now I'll associate it with this person, thanks. You know, I was really I was being a bit negative about the remake because I thought they'd removed the animation where you shoot yourself in the head. I thought they'd like, you know, made it a bit censored. But then the latest gameplay trailer showed them shooting themselves in the head, so I was like, okay, based. I can still enjoy this. The only thing is that the remastered tracks are kind of lame. Oh.
I think we should humanize humans but not animals, because they are not humans. They are animals. Also Sluzzle Shells plays.
Okay, thank you, Super Lisa Fan V2, for the $5 donation. Thank you. So what was this? How is that grooming? You saying? Well, yeah, that's kind of the point, right? Apparently, that's what Keffel's accused her of, though. There's a video on Keffel's channel. Maybe we'll watch it at some point, just to get into this a little bit. But it's called like exposing a predator in the trans community or something like that.
see, that's funny because people would call a lot of transgender people mentally unwell or mentally unstable.
Yeah.
But then I think it's because of a lot of hyper focus on us, right? But then once I hyper focus a little bit on, you know, some dudes or some rando dudes, right? On the internet, they are just as unhinged as us.
Okay.
So like, yeah, she's like, so yeah, she's like, well, actually, you know, it's again, it's the same locale code where it's like, well, actually, you know, the A logs are the real locales. It's that exact same line of thinking. How you spam so much JJK stuff and deny being a weeb? I thought there's more that goes into being like a weeb by the traditional definition than just liking anime. Weebs are typically people who like fetishize Japan, and that's not me. I just like anime and I like Japanese games.
And I don't know what to believe anymore. Because yeah, they're just as unhinged as us. So
And no body pillows.
exactly which one is it? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what I see is
Kuihman dropped his Guitar rankings, then I would say Weeb. Is you referring to like Monogatari and all that shit? Because I've never watched any of those. I know of them. I know of the toothbrush scene. If that's what you're talking about. But that's from watching Giguk videos back in the day.
that transgender people stand out more because they're transgender. And it is a fact. I can concede that it's a fact that transgender people have, per capita, right, or whatever, that they will probably have a much higher, mental illness rate, right? Obviously. But at the same time, how does that compare to the regular population, right? And to what magnitude as well? So it's like, and who knows, right? Yeah, I think it's more about appearances more than anything.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, that's just the way I sort of think of it. I think it's a good question to ask, right? More than anything else, but whatever.
Yeah.
What else do you do?
I've been playing a lot of League lately. It's a lot of fun. I've played a lot of
It's
League
just like so awkward. It's so awkward, dude.
for a long time. I used to be part of Riot had a volunteer program that a lot of their tech support was done through, and they finally dissolved it. I think in like 2017 or 2018 or something like that.
Okay.
But I was a part of that for a good like 3.5, 4 years or something like that.
You were part of their tech support?
Right, / League of Legends, Johnny. Yep, it seems that way. Yes.
Yeah, kind of. It was like a volunteer basis. I made a lot of graphics for them before they had like a graphic designer, especially for like the boards. And
She
the
did it
forums
for
and stuff like
free,
that.
bro. She did it for
But
free.
it was pretty cool. I got to see a lot of things that I wouldn't have otherwise, and that's always nice.
Okay. I mean, I would make a League joke here, but I don't play League enough at all to make these kinds of jokes.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Great input.
Okay, so you play League, and what do you I guess if you're comfortable divulging, what do you do for work?
Oh,
Have you said that before?
Huh?
Have you said that before? I'm sorry.
No,
FSL,
I've
did you
changed
say?
a few different like jobs. Oh,
Have you said that before?
Huh?
Oh,
Have you
no.
said that before?
I thought you
No.
said FSL before.
I've
I was like,
changed,
what?
a few different like jobs recently, but I don't want to say anything to give myself away. The last thing I need is people to show up at my fucking job.
Yeah, never mind, don't do it. Yeah. What kind of other hobbies do you do?
Oh, probably my biggest hobby is collecting Pokemon. I play like every single Pokemon game. I used to do shiny hunting and stuff like that.
Okay. And
Still need to I need to go through and make a spread.
Pokebros, it's fucking over. It's fucking over.
Spreadsheet. I want to have like a shiny living dex. Do you know what that is?
No. What is that?
So like a living dex is like collecting one of each Pokemon in the Pokedex, right?
We can skip through
So
this.
it's basically like a Pokedex that's alive, almost. So I want shiny versions of all the Pokemon like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long
There's a lot of Pokemon now.
would you artistically farm these?
Oh god, weeks, months, years at a time.
I remember shiny hunting in Sword and Shield for the Reggies, like Regirock and Registeel and stuff like that. I got the first two like super quick, and then the last one just eluded me for something like 6 to 8 months.
Wow. And were you the kind of person who would just look at the screen, or would you be doing something on the side?
I used to do so back when Pokemon Go was based. You could do like infinite remote raids every day, and what I would do is I was on a Discord where people would like post like invite codes and stuff like that to remote raids for like the big stuff like Rayquaza and Lugia and stuff like that. And so I'd be shiny hunting on my Switch, and I would have
like my phone streaming to my computer, playing Pokemon Go at the same time. Yeah, I think I have some like VODs still on my Twitch or something like that. Maybe I'll DM you one later.
Okay, cool. I have a question about your content creation.
Okay.
How long have you been doing this?
Doing what? Like my interview show?
Yeah, sure. Your
or just content creation in general.
Actually, sure. Yeah, I thought that was your entire content creation. How long have you been doing your entire content creation then, I suppose?
I've been streaming since like 2014, I think.
Okay.
Was when I started. I used to stream just League to an audience of like 5 or 6 people or something like that. And then I started making like more edited League videos, which you can find on my channel if you're interested in those. Where I would like go into the.
You can just drop the link in the chat. Yeah, if you want, you can just drop the link in the chat. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Okay, come on.
Okay. And
Give me the content.
was your podcast always about transgender related things?
Yeah, pretty much. I used to talk about like news stuff and stuff like that would happen. Anything big in the trans community. I'd pull up like news articles and read those and have guests on to talk about different stuff. I've been doing that for, I guess it's close to 2 years now, but I wasn't really active this last year.
Okay. Wow. And what makes you want to go back to it, I guess?
What makes me want to go back?
Yeah, to doing the podcast stuff.
Honestly, I miss it. I miss one of the biggest things that one of my favorite hobbies is editing videos and organizing content and putting it out. It's I don't know. It feels like I can complete something. You know, it makes me feel whole in a way. I've been editing videos since I was in high school, since like 2004, 2005 or something like that. And I was part of my high school's media team where I would help edit the weekly news broadcast that would go on every week, talking about like different stuff that happened in the news in the school and like people's birthdays and new events coming up and stuff like that. And we would do goofy segments and comedy skits and stuff too. And I just really enjoyed it. I love diving into Premiere and looking up the clock and it's like 4 hours later. It's just, I love getting lost in it and putting stuff out and organizing it. And it just feels good. I really like doing it. And I'm at a place in my life now where I think I could afford the time that it would take to produce and edit and put out that kind of content again.
Jesus, dude, come on.
It always had to all over again. Once the hurt wasn't going to allow me to continue.
One last round of interviews. Like you don't even have to be on camera. You can just upload gameplay with no commentary, no anything. Like that'll be very, very hard to criticize or very hard to go after, right? If you're afraid of people going after you. I don't know. There has to be something, I feel like.
It's not that I'm afraid of it. I mean, at this point, I've made peace with it. People are going to do it until the day I die, and that's just how it's going to be. But
how long has it been now? Years or?
It's been about a year. Yeah. It was last October that things started blowing up really hard.
Okay.
I mean, like it hasn't exactly been super easy for me to get through a lot of this. Like I lost all my friends. I lost my home.
Booth Perhaps chat is full of monthly donate as well. Yeah, she's kind of like, she gets mad gifted memberships. I think it's just like there's some dynamic that exists with these weird small, you know, trans streamers where there'll be like a couple of people that sort of orbit around and, you know, will dump a bunch of money into them because, you know, it's a attainable trans person, I think. So they think if they donate a bunch of money, they'll, you know, have a shot. I think that is honestly what's going on. That's the only explanation that I can draw. Where's the WoW today? I was actually thinking about pulling up Pokemon. So I want to try and keep up a bit with other people. We'll see.
I was assaulted and I broke my jaw in 3 places. I spent 6 months unable to eat even like the smallest piece of food. Like, it's not been an easy road since then. And people still, like, they don't care about that. All they care about is, like, let's make things harder for Erin. That's all they care about.
I see. And even if you change your alias online, they will still find you?
Oh yeah, there's accounts dedicated to it. They're always finding, like...
Are they really that dedicated to you?
Yes. It's frightening, honestly.
Okay.
I know it sounds like super egotistical of me to say that, but like I can prove it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking because nothing because when it comes to something like
I had a Twitter account that had like
they got assaulted as well. The jaw was broken. So yeah, this is just like there's a massive trauma dumping session here. So I might let it play through, but we'll keep it sped up.
Close to 10,000 followers or something like that, and I deactivated for a long time to the point where I ended up losing the handle and somebody else picked it up, and that's the account that fucking stalks all my other accounts. And yeah.
Okay, yeah, I would love to see like if that's the case. If you could send it to me in private later, but yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting that like because you aren't like a extremely large content creator, right? You are a
no, I haven't been.
Yeah, which is why it's even more interesting that people are this incredibly dedicated, right? To you specifically, who I check you aren't really like 1 million subscribers.
No, I'm not. I've never been a huge content creator. I've never broke 1,000 subs on my fucking YouTube channel.
Okay, yeah, don't worry. I'm yeah, okay, I see.
Guys, that reminds me. Look, we're at 819, I think, right? We're at 819 subs right now, guys. We're trying to hit 1K by the end of the year, guys. So if you're listening, you haven't subbed, please sub now. Thank you. please leave a like on the stream and donate if you can as well. Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because I just never heard of anybody going after you this hard. Or sorry, not this hard, but it's more like, oof. Can I show this on screen? Or
I would.
okay, no, I'm not gonna show this on screen. Actually, I'm just gonna. Oof.
Going the subby clubby, stop. That's
Just, yeah, and I mean, even looking at
that's
it,
awful.
just because, like, how do you even begin to like? I don't know. It sounds crazy. It sounds super fucking crazy. I sound super fucking paranoid, but like, none of this stuff actually happened the way that people think it did.
Interesting. Why did the original person who came after you if they are so much larger?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, like, it's like it turned into a huge thing, and like a lot of it was like after I broke up with my ex, she developed like this really bad addiction to like do you know what whippets are?
No. What
It's
is
like
that?
inhaling nitrous oxide and getting high from like oxygen deprivation, and it doesn't last very long. That's super bad for your brain, and it can make you crazy. And she told a bunch of lies about me that I thought at the time I was taking the like.
What's this? I like how she hears about a community that just stalks people for years and still finds a way to rage about Spicy and how to make content when cancelled. Yeah, like she doesn't even like Spicy is so tame compared to some communities on the internet. Careful's, Kiwi Farms. There are so many places that are so much worse than Spicy. Still, people bitch and whine over people being a little bit mean in a chat.
I road by not engaging with it and stuff like that. But like then there was no like counter narrative to a lot of the things that she was saying, and so people just believed her by default. And
Are you
I mean,
talking?
she said stuff like that I could definitively prove. She told people that I had herpes, and I got a test, and I don't have herpes.
Okay, wait, sorry? Did you say your ex?
Yes.
So your ex smeared you.
It's for DJ and losers.
And she like
yeah,
part of our relationship was that
problem.
Like at a point, I told her that I wanted to explore polyamory, and she told me she didn't want that. And things got to a point between us where I broke up with her, and she wanted to be with me so bad that she said, "Well, if I let you, explore polyamory, can we get back together?" And I said, "Well, now that's a big thing to say. I want to give you time to think about it." And so like a week went by, and she said that she still wanted to do it. So I said, "Okay, fine, we'll try it." And so we tried it, and I was like really respectful of like her boundaries and stuff. I didn't do things that she didn't want me to and stuff like that. And then like I spent the night at someone else's house, and I slept in the bed with them when my partner specifically asked me not to. We didn't have sex. I just slept in her bed because the alternative was sharing a couch with her 2 large dogs.
Okay, so you napped simply in their bed, and not.
I literally slept.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
we
literally
didn't-
slept,
it's
not
like-
sex.
yeah.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
And so I told her about it, and she said that I cheated on her. And I said, "Okay, well, I'm sorry. I don't think I can do this then." And so I broke up with her again. And from that point, it was just like she felt hurt, and she wanted me to hurt the same way that she was hurting. And she knew one of the things I cared about most was doing my content and my relationship with all the friends that I'd made. And she did her damnedest to ruin it. And like I've thought about putting together like
Based spite? Anyone vindictive in chat? Based?
a list of like all her lies and screenshots of her saying all this stuff and like real proof that it's not true. And like one example is that she told me that I should go fool around with someone, and then I did. And then she told me that she never told me that I could fool around with that person. Well, she told them that she told them that it was never okay, but she told me that it was okay.
Okay, what you should have done, I think,
And it was awful. I hated it. I hated every minute of it.
yeah.
Every minute of our relationship was like that.
I see.
She would like, I don't know. I would get really drunk and I would get sick, and I would wake up in the morning and I have this like fucking pages long message in my Discord DMs from her about how shitty of a person I am and how awful I am and how I'm just like my mother and I'm gonna die just like my mother.
Jesus.
And
Okay.
yeah, no, it was not a fucking great relationship. I was not really happy, but nobody cares about that because they all believe whatever she says.
And,
Nobody cares about what's really true.
and okay, while this is going down, did you have any support network for you at the time?
Spicy Chat is a channel in Chud Logic's Discord server that is opt-in. Press a button to get in there, and it's lax on TOS, and it commonly gets referenced by a lot of small streamers because people in there, myself included, like to watch these small streamers and make fun of them. So it sort of has become a bit of a, they're all freaked out by it. They all act like it's like Kiwi Farms or like, a harassment brigade, when it's just a bunch of people who sit around laughing. It's not like Kiwi Farms. No one doxes in there. There's no doxing. You're not allowed to say slurs. It's not even like, it can't be anything that would get you banned off Discord. So
No, everyone in my support network at the time abandoned me. One of the people in my support network was the person that assaulted me and broke my jaw.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And after I got out of the hospital, after my surgery, I had nowhere else to live but to go back and live with my ex. And so it was months of
you're a Chud orbiter. Yeah, to some extent. I've grown out of Chud's community, for sure, yeah.
Me, miserable on the couch, recovering from surgery, high on painkillers, nothing else to do, can't work, can't so much as fucking get up off the couch most days. And I have to sit here and listen to my 2 roommates talk constant shit about me. And all the while, my ex is telling me, oh no, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to clear things up. I'm going to apologize for everything. And then she never did. She was just using it as a way to manipulate me to get what she wanted out of me.
I see. Did you get emotional support afterwards?
Yeah, there were a few people that initially were very critical of me that came out and started supporting me instead after they started talking to me. Sleepy was one of those people. I've had a few people in her circle that I've talked to. Actually, Smith was one of the first people to actually like hear me out and have me on his channel for a chat about it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think this is one of the things that Smith sort of differentiates himself from somebody like
I don't know forever. I also thought the game looked fun. I was going to try and figure out what it was, but I haven't yet.
Mr. Girl.
Yeah.
Is that?
Well, I spent some time in Mr. Girl's community too. I mean, I never watched any of his streams, but because Smith was there, and I had a few conversations with people who were like super transphobic that like lasted hours at a time. That came away from the conversation with a better understanding of trans people, and like literally thanked me for like kind of opening their minds in a way.
Based. Yeah, I think this is one of these things where a lot of people will see Smith wrongly and go like, oh yeah, this person is just a Mr. Girl dick writer or whatever the fuck, right? Which to some extent I see why they would say that, right? But they don't really see the good side of Smith that he does in private, that he doesn't really brag about.
Yeah.
And he doesn't brag about it. Smith doesn't brag about the good things that he does.
Yeah.
And that is a virtuous thing, right? That is.
Is it all part of commentary community, like Tom Dark stuff? It's a weird intersection between commentary community, I guess, kind of the remnants of the Destiny orbit on Twitch. Is kind of where it is, yeah.
It's a virtuous thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I do see that. I do see that in Smith. I do see that in Smith.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He is. And then well, so now do you think now your haters will find you here, I guess? Do you think they're watching now?
Anymore. I really don't care.
Good. Yeah. I would say it's a bit too late for it now, but the original good move would have been to do what I sort of did, right? Was to make a single story, a single narrative, and then no longer engage, and that's it, right?
I mean, I told the same story to everyone who's
right. But then,
just like make a manifesto, do it like me,
We have not changed a single word of it.
Right. But then after you, even if you retell the same story, there's going to be people are going to start pointing it out over and over again. But I
never put out a video. I never put out a response. I never.
But then, right. But then even after you repeat it over and over again, you are reminding people of what has happened, right? But then if they discuss it amongst themselves after you have said it the first time, then eventually it will fade from their memory.
Yeah, I mean, like, I got canceled for something that happened 12, 13 years ago. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, by now it might have already been too late. But when was the last time you have engaged with this drama?
I mean, I have to have my Twitter private because anytime I like say anything that could be perceived as negative about any of these people that were previously criticizing me, they all fucking jump on top of it, and it's hundreds of fucking quote tweets and stupid fucking memes and shit like that, and I don't know. I just don't have time or patience to deal with that shit anymore.
Right, but usually people, it's more intense when is like the last time you did it. Like, do you remember when was the last time you actually seriously engaged with this drama, like in a way where you were looping?
The last time I seriously engaged with it was like probably last year, shortly after it happened, where I was still trying to like
fix the narrative.
I don't know. I don't want to say convince people because that's not the right. It leaves a bad connotation, but like to get my story out, to say my piece, because I felt like throughout all of this, like no one's ever like really cared to hear my point of view from it. It's always been like, oh well, you're a bad person because X, Y, Z, and they said this, and so it must be true. So
okay, I see. Wow, yeah, I can't believe they made like a whole entire thing to go after you this hard. If you were to disappear from the internet for like a whole like 6 months and came back, do you think they would still go after you?
Absolutely. I feel like a lot of these people are invested in it now, especially the accounts I sent you.
Yeah,
I don't know who runs that account. I can take a few wild guesses.
Yeah,
and I'm probably accurate enough to hit the nail on the head at least once.
Perhaps. Have you ever brought this to a larger content creator who might be willing to defend you?
I've tried. I actually reached out to Destiny a while ago.
And what was his response?
He didn't give a response.
Yeah.
Why is the instinct just, oh, Destiny, please save me? Oh, I don't know, man.
Fortunately, he can only defend so many cancellations at once. But he has done it before. Right? Yeah.
I didn't even ask him to defend me or anything like that. I just asked him if he would want to talk about, like, because it was when he was like doing fucking back and forth shit with Keffels.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know what's funny is that with my recent drama, uh, it has basically reached all corners. Well, not all corners, but it has reached a lot of corners of Twitch poll at this point, except Destiny's corner.
Again, I said this in Discord last night. The one place it has reached is Destiny's corner. Like, loads of DGGs have spoken about this. It's been mentioned on J-Stalk's stream. Like, you know, it has reached Destiny's corner. It hasn't reached outside of Twitch poll. That's where it hasn't gone. Everyone in Twitch poll knows about this. That's absolutely true. Like, what Twitch poll is like 15 or 20 streamers tops. Like, very tops as well. I mean, total tops. And like, they all know about it. So the idea this doesn't, I don't know. She's banned from Quarantos's Discord, for fuck's sake.
And even then, some of Destiny's people have heard of it.
I mean, the DGG Discord was the only one that I didn't get kicked out of. I got kicked out of Vosh's Discord. I got kicked out of like Demon Mama's Discord. I got kicked out of like all these people's.
Yeah, I would imagine.
It really upset me at the time, but looking back on it, I do not give a single fuck. In fact, I kind of consider it a blessing because like I absolutely would have put too much of my self-worth into like these communities and my standing in them.
I I share this experience with you as well. I got
Do people still take internet debaters seriously? I feel like it's essayists with good production values but zero content, or actual PhDs and researchers doing stuff. Yeah, basically. But the thing is that it's a dwindling amount of people that still take them seriously, but there's still enough for like a few people to have careers off of it, and there's still enough to incentivize people like this to think they can do it, and to think when they're saying something it matters. It doesn't. No one gives a fuck what this person thinks. The only reason I'm watching is because they have so many autistic and embarrassing moments. That, like, but they still have this delusion that for some reason there's this market of people out there who just want to hear some total freak ramble on about their philosophical and ethical positions. Like, no, nobody wants to fucking listen to that.
And you know what? I haven't told anybody in public right now. But I'll say this right now, and you know what? I'll just reveal it. I got kicked out of a lot of Discord.
The trick is to enjoy it without taking it seriously. Exactly. Yep. It's just it's entertainment. It's pure content.
As well. So I relate this with you. I got kicked out of Toronto's Discord server. I got kicked out of Wix Discord server. I got kicked out of Reservoir's Discord server. I got kicked out of Zonia's Discord server. I got kicked out of what other Discord servers?
So like, yeah, listing all the Discord servers she's been banned from over this lolly stuff.
Yeah, just
Have you
numerous.
been in Sunsoul server?
I haven't kicked out of Sunsoul's Discord server. I haven't kicked out of
See, these are all the spaces that like welcomed me after the fact.
So
Like,
so
when I
listen.
was
So,
on a panel,
right, so
You're right. But she'll never grow past like she's probably hard capped like 50 viewers, absolute hard capped. So she's never gonna be making more than like a few $100s a month, right? And she has no job. She quit she got laid off from her job, like 8 months ago or something. Has been living on severance, and is now signing on for unemployment benefits. But you can't sustain this content production.
Wick and
yeah.
Erudite or whatever. Like that was way after like all this happened.
Listen, right? Look, for me, when I get kicked out of a space, a Discord server, to me, it's thanks for the follow. I don't view it as that much of a big deal, as some people might say, as it is.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like I sort of zoom out and go like, what really, like what the fuck? It's like, who cares? Like who made a lol? Who made a lol Discord server, right? I got my own Discord server, and that's the only place that matters to me. Okay, in that Discord server, I allow pretty much literally anybody in. Okay, unless you annoy me, then I'll time you out. Okay, if you keep on pinging people, all right, especially people who I consider to be whatever, right? You're not like stop spam pinging people. Okay, just don't do that. Yeah. God, I remember when Present Sunday was in my Discord server, and then somebody was in there, and then this Present Sunday fan, all right, won't name their name, okay, pinged Sunday 3 times, 3 fucking times, okay, and then Sunday left after that, and the 3 times was literally all just criticism. It was criticism, and then even after Sunday left, after being annoyed and saying that they were annoyed, like after the 2nd time or the 3rd time or something like that, even after that Sunday fan still went on my stream to say how much they simped for Present Sunday, and I'm just like, bro, you caused Sunday to leave my fucking server. You caused Present Sunday to leave my motherfucking server. What? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, you know? Yeah, but whatever. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, whatever.
Jesus. You got what you wanted, J. Cole.
Oh,
Got your wish.
See, that's the thing though. If I restricted myself only to talk to people who are non-controversial, I wouldn't be having interesting conversations like these.
Yeah, that was part of the reason that I wanted to do this in the first place, was because I was like, well, you know, it used to be that there was a list of people that I wasn't allowed to talk to because they're too controversial. And anytime I would be talking to them, I would be giving them a platform to spread their message. Even if they're a YouTuber that has more followers than me, I'm still giving them a platform to spread their message or whatever. And I'm causing more harm to people in the future who might not know this because I'm washing their image or whatever the fuck that they want. It's so fucking, you have to jump through so many hoops to make sense of any of this. But basically, it was that there are people that I shouldn't talk to because they're too controversial and I don't need to give them a platform and all this stuff. And now I'm like, well, I don't have that to lose anymore.
You know what's my logic behind this thing? Is that I understand where they're getting at, but people blow it out of proportion. I think it's also that you need to be able to trust the viewers a bit more. I think that the average viewer is able to think for themselves far more than content creators assign them the agency of. So, for example, content creators think that their viewers are just mindless slaves, that they will instantly follow whatever doctrine that their guest brings on, right? If they have a controversial guest on, that their followers will instantly go, oh my god, yes, queen, you know? And if their guest goes like, if their guest starts
cringe. And who thinks this? Nobody thinks this.
Spreading some misinformation or information or anything, that the viewers will go, I instantly believe this. That's not true. The viewers come in, they already have a worldview that they assign to. They already have a worldview that they accepted in their own life, right? So, therefore, they're going to be, so just because you have a single guest on in their content creation space doesn't mean they're automatically going to have a new worldview. They're going to be more like plausible to it or whatever, right? It also depends on how you interview them, right? Are you pushing back? Are you asking the right questions? What kind of audience do you cultivate? There's many complicated ways. There's many complicated questions. So it's very complicated. Okay, it's very complicated. And yeah, I believe that I cultivate an audience where they
She's always screaming. She's literally always spurging out. Like, it's non-stop.
are able to critically think about things. They criticize me literally all the fucking time. Okay. They criticize me all the fucking
absolutely
time,
no
especially when I do something wrong. Like I
moments.
remember that, yesterday or the day before when I was on tomfoolery, right? I think I called, and I'll just say it, I called STV Philly stupid.
If you were chugging 5-hour energies all night, you'd probably be kind of hyperactive too. So be understanding, okay?
Right? I realized right afterwards that was a mistake. I apologized afterwards. But before I apologized, people in the audience said, hey, by the way, that was pretty fucking weird, And that was when I knew I made a fucking mistake. Because guess what? My audience pointed that out to me immediately. All right? They pointed that out immediately. All right? They went like, hey, by the way, that was not a good thing that you did, right? And they were not afraid to say it. It's because I enable that kind of behavior in my audience. I allow them to make critiques of me. So I think that when a controversial guest comes onto my platform and they actually say some crazy ass shit, that they will actually begin to criticize them or criticize me for not being able to, like push back well enough. So yeah, you know what? I think that you should be able to assign more agency to your fucking viewers, okay? All right? And you should be able to like platform some motherfuckers, okay? And not like assume that all your viewers are fucking stupid as fuck. And if you assume your viewers are stupid as fuck, then that's probably your fault for not pushing back hard enough, or not being good at your rhetoric, not being good at content creation, or not being, not having a smart audience in the first place because of the way you're cultivating your content creation anyway, okay? You piece of fucking shit, okay? Anyway, that's about it. That's my rant. Okay, well, I don't care anymore. Okay, that's it.
Well, thank you for having me on. It's getting late to the point where I need to start going to bed.
Okay, all right.
But I appreciate the conversation. It went a lot longer than I thought it would, but talking to you is pretty easy, I guess.
Literally just, I ain't reading all that. Like, that is the response you just got. Like, who asked? Like, okay, I'm gonna sleep now. You've tired me out. Like, absolutely no response to that massive screed.
Well, it's because we're both in the relative same boat. We're kind of.
Kind of. Well, I mean,
kind of. Yeah. I mean, you're
in
the head of boat. You're not the head of
conversations
boat.
flow more naturally with you than they do a lot of others. I don't know. I guess it's a skill you have. It's good. It's good for a content creator for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to be more down to earth. Yeah, it's more casual, like I said.
Yeah, of course.
That was not casual. That was not casual.
I'll stay in touch so that we can set up some sort of other thing or whatever. But yeah, have a good night. Good night, chat. Love you all. Talk to you later.
All right. See ya. Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Cool.
Okay.